Hey, what's up, guys? So the Yankees dropped the first game of in their series in Camden Yards against the Baltimore Orioles by a score of 4-2. Deivi Garcia was called up, and they optioned Nick Nelson yesterday, to make room for Garcia, who got the start tonight. He went 4 innings, gave up 2 runs, and had a couple strikeouts, a couple walks. He worked himself into and out of a couple of jams, and again, I was impressed with how he remained controlled and was able to get out of some of these jams. That said, he did come out after 4 innings. He only had, I think he was in around 65 pitches. Personally, I would have brought him back out for the fifth, so that maybe they wouldn't have to use all the relievers that they use, because they still used O'Day, they used Licky, they used Chad Green, they used Justin Wilson. So they used 4 relievers. If they had, maybe tried him in the fifth inning, he could have, and see how he worked out. They might not have had to use 4, and again, it's just my opinion, but I didn't see the point of calling him up when you were going to take him out after 4 with a pretty low pitch count. It didn't make any sense to me, that logic. But again, I'm not the manager, and who knows where he's at? We'll see if he's going to be around now to get a second start. Who don't know? They're going to send him back down. But the Yankees, and I've mentioned this before, they have a remarkable ability when they're not playing well to make average pitchers look like just complete Hall of Fame type pitchers. Now, Matt Harvey he's a talented pitcher. Okay, he was one of the up and coming Mets guys who came up with Syndergaard and DeGrom and blah blah blah. But then he just disappeared off the face of the map, and now he's back. And I think he threw 5 innings today against the Yankees. They made him look like he was Bob Gibson for the first 4 innings. Before they got a little bit. I mean, Stanton hit a double, and then Judge an RBI double to drive Stanton in, and later on, Gio Urshela got an RBI hit late in the game, but that wasn't off Harvey. But again, he was dominating the Yankees for the first 4 innings, and I'm like, this is when the Yankees are bad, they're really bad. When they're good, they're really good. And I have to say too, as much as people want to dump on Clint Frazier and some of the other players, Stanton, even though Stanton's probably the most consistent hitter on the team, DJ LeMahieu's in a huge slump right now, so he deserves as much of the criticism as anybody else. Okay, I love DJ, but he's like 1 for 25 or something like that. So, he's supposed to be the catalyst of the team, and he's not doing any better. So, I just want to keep the perspective. I don't want to only dump on Clint Frazier and 1 or 2 other guys. It's not fair. So. But that said, hardly any of them are playing that well. So it is what it is. They haven't started clicking yet, even though they won 3 out of 4 in Cleveland. Okay, that was a nice series, but that doesn't mean they've turned everything around. They clearly have not. Now, hopefully, they come back tomorrow and win the next game, and hopefully, they win the series in Baltimore before they go to Detroit. We'll see. But this is, these are teams that they should be beating up on pretty good, and Baltimore and Detroit. So we'll see. We'll see where they go from here. But that's kind of the recap. The Orioles, they had some clutch hits, some good, a couple of home runs, and they beat the Yankees pretty good today. Even though it wasn't a high scoring game, it was only 4-2. They got more timely hits, and but it could have easily been 6-2 or 7-2 or 8-2. But Garcia got himself out of a couple of jams, so made some good pitches, and when he needed to, and he stayed poised. And I had a discussion with Derek over at NYY Recaps a while back, and we talked about Deivi Garcia. And that's one of the things that I pointed out about him, was his ability to kind of remain calm, whether he's pitching good or not pitching well. And, and he wasn't pitching horribly tonight. It was just his first game of the season, but, he was okay. He had some strikeouts too, got some key outs, and he left giving up 2 runs, and he's a young kid. Was he 22 years old? Something like that. So he showed that poise and command. And, and I hope that he gets another opportunity to get another start, and I hope he goes 5 or 6 next time. Just like I hope, Kluber and Tyon kind of keep building and building and building and go 5 to 6 innings most of the time. So can't only be Garrett Cole and sometimes Jordan Montgomery. Otherwise, the Yankees are going to have to bring in another pitcher at some point before the deadline or at the deadline. And they're going to have to bring in somebody who can throw innings. there's no two ways about it, particularly if they want to compete. And with the Red Sox playing really well and the Blue Jays, about to kind of take off. This is the time the Yankees need, to take advantage of right now to kind of get things moving in the right direction. So that remains to be seen. We'll see what happens there. But that's the recap. Okay. It wasn't, an action-packed game, but it was a win for the Baltimore Orioles. The Yankees are now 9-13. The Orioles are now 10-12. So, that's pretty much it. I'll do my next recap tomorrow. And by the way, my next video, I'm going to talk about a trade that the Toronto Blue Jays should make if they want to make the playoffs this year. So, you're not going to want to miss that. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon if you want to miss it. If you don't want to miss it and you want to see it, hopefully you don't want to miss it. And hit the thumbs up if you enjoy the content as well. It's really helpful to the channel's growth. And I'm doing a giveaway of 2,000 subs, so be sure you hit that sub so that you're in the running for it. So, my way of saying thank you for your support. My regulars, you're the best. New folks, welcome. Talk to you tomorrow.